Hello, I'm Grim Reaper and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be I'm not really going to be doing a video on gameplay or walkthroughs or any advice on how to get certain things that you want in games. I'm going to be addressing an issue that seems to be happening quite often in most games nowadays, especially games like this one, which has the chat factor where you can chat. Like this one here, this is Operation New Earth. It's a fairly newish game that's being run by Haunted Cow, and there is another one from if I go into it, here you are. This is Vija Conflict, which is run by Kixeye. This one I've been playing this game for quite a long time. There was a bit of an issue about the sort of subject that I'm going to talk to you about, but it seems to have calmed down and it's been dealt with. I don't know if it was the game developers that have stepped in and put a stop to it or how it all got stopped, but it doesn't seem to be happening at all now. You only get the odd one once in a blue moon, as you might say. Basically it's cyberbullying is part of the subject. Racialism is another part of the sister thing, where people are being picked on through race. And even though I've made a complaint about racist remarks and cyberbullying about another game, which I will come to in a moment, on a previous game that I just mentioned, and I will show you the actual thing that I posted to contact the people involved, in hopefully that they can start looking into the matter and see if there's anything that can be done about it. Unfortunately, the other thing is that people get targeted is on their beliefs, their religious beliefs, their sexual preferences, and the way how they see themselves in gender. So I'm talking about people that may be male but see themselves as female, and vice versa. It's unfair for people to be targeted in this way, and a lot of this is happening, and there's a lot of governing bodies that are taking action on this. I know of 3 cases that I've heard of. One happened in the UK, I believe one happened in the United States, and one happened either in China or Japan. I can't remember which one it was, where the victim had actually taken their own life, and it was traced back to the messages that they were sent. And the people that were involved, or the person that was involved that actually victimized the person, was eventually charged with manslaughter. So this is a big issue, and game developers really need to take notice of this, because unfortunately if this thing keeps carrying on in your games, people are going to stop playing your game, and you will lose revenue in this, because you have online purchases for the game. There you go, where you rely on people to buy things through the game so it can help fund you. I'm not going to lie, I have 90% of the time I use the grinder method. This is just basically relying on whatever your resources are and so on, and taking the time and using your clan members or allies as you have, for when they assist you and they help you, and the more people that help you, etc., it cuts down the time on building and doing your research, cuts down time. But also the other 10% of the time I do use actual things that I buy online, and this is only in the event of if I want to buy extra coins for certain things, like in this game Vija Conflict. If I go into this here, which gives you the thing, so if I attack a target, it should give you target radar. There you go. So there you go. If I go into here and say I want to attack these type of fleets, I'll say find. There you go, it's locked onto one. I'll send the fleet in to attack this. Now when I actually defeat that particular fleet, you get the option to blitz, so you don't have to keep going into thing. You actually pay coins, and it will give you it will blitz it, and it will give you whatever it is to add this on, so you don't have to keep on. So it saves time as well for you. So you've only attacked it once, but you do what they call blitz. So you've actually paid to gain basically the points that you need, or the, as this one says here, ghost shards that you need to exchange for these items within the game for the prizes. And I do that because, one, it saves time, because I don't spend too much time on playing the game, and to achieve enough to gain up to this many so I can claim this top prize, it's going to take me quite a while, quite a few times for me to defeat the actual so on, as it tells you here how much you will gain if you defeat it. You see, if I go back to the one that was 100, there you go, it'll give you 100,000, and as you can see, that there is 1,800,000. So I'm going to need at least 800 or so, or 1,800 of those fleets to kill before I've achieved the amount or whatever it is that I need to accumulate. So it will take me a while to do it. It will take quite a few hours. So to save time, I use the blitz method, and you need coins for that, and that's the reason why I would do it. But obviously I don't go too mad on the coins, because at the same time it can turn out expensive. So I limit myself a budget that I won't spend any more than £21 at any time, and that £20 that I might spend on that in this game maybe for that month, or if not longer. And basically it would be the same for me playing any other game, and in this game as well I would also do exactly the same. So here we are. So now I'm back into the other game now, which is Operation New Earth, which I am a particular member of one particular organisation, otherwise known as ROG. Now, as you can see, this is the global chat, and you can see that this person here, this player, this person here was also been a victim of such a thing that I'm talking about, and the outcome is they've been given this title. You see, and then like this one here, this person here has been given a title. Now, this is all because of one particular player in this game, in here. There we go. If I can go in and hopefully show you, there we go. Let's go to here. At the moment, here we are. This is the player that I'm talking about. This one right here, Hell's Boss of COG. Okay, we have our leader has managed to make a pact, a non-aggression pact with this person at the moment, but this clan with a load of others have repeatedly attacked us. Okay, that's all part of the game. The attacking, that isn't the issue. What is the issue is when I confronted this player to find out the reason why it was such a continuous onslaught, because some of the members were attacked over 30 times. I was attacked nearly 15 times from various people. Some of the attacks came from here, from this particular player, others come from other players, and so on. So basically I wanted an explanation for why I was targeted so much, and so on. Now, and I got told by this player, because of racialism, he was standing up for Asian people. Apparently somebody had said something which was inappropriate towards Asians. Now, I haven't got a problem with any Asians. I don't have any problem with any person from any culture or any race. I don't agree in racialism, and I certainly don't agree in cyberbullying. Now, when I confronted this person and I had a chat with them online through this chat thing, it became apparent to me that what they decided to do would be take matters in their own hands and become the cyberbully, and basically bullied everybody else. So what they did is targeted everybody else just for the fact that they carried this tag ROG on their name, and because they were in that clan, they got targeted for whatever this was. So players from in this group, in this clan, that had nothing to do with it was attacked for that reason. Why? If you're going to do something about it, don't go attacking people for no reason, and especially when they had nothing to do with the actual issue. Report it. Exactly what I did in the end. So unfortunately for this person, they've been reported for being a cyberbully, as well as the fact that I reported the fact that there is an issue of racialism being carried out in this game. So I have, here we go, if I can bring it up, here it is. This is what I posted to Haunted Cow, the game developers, and this is what I've told them. I've even given them screenshots of the chat and everything else. Now, so don't get me wrong, Hell Boss, I'm not blaming him fully. I think he's got caught up in a situation which got out of control, and what he's done, without thinking, he's gone and made the wrong choice by so on. Now, I'm hoping that Hell Boss gets to hear about this and actually gets to see this video, and then we'll see on how much of a knock-on effect that he has done. Okay, now what happens here now, this sort of thing happens. When this sort of thing happens, what happens is other players start to feel unhappy, will start to feel uncomfortable, and then what will happen is, this is what happens, right? As I've put here, I'm sorry to say, if nothing can be done or cannot move to a new sector to get away from this issue, then you have to stop playing and choose to close my account, right? Why? Because quite simply, it is losing its its fun factor. So as I've put in afterwards, I explained that I'm a beta tester, and I do make YouTube videos and review games and so on. Now, game developers like me doing this. Why? Because it's promoting their game for free. Yeah, I'm doing it for free. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing this out my own time, and I am looking for games which are enjoyable to play, especially in this current situation with COVID. When you can't get out, you can't do a lot, people are going to do other things. They're either going to play video games, sit down, play board games, or they're going to sit down making models, other hobbies and crafts, read books, whatever. They're going to do something to pass the time. So if this is happening online, then people are not going to play it. And if people stop playing this game, and the game developers of this game end up losing revenue from it, they're not going to be happy. I don't think they're going to want one individual ruin what they're setting out to do, and so on. So this is what I've put in. I've put in all the various bits, and I have told them that it's losing its fun factor. So at the moment, I'm sorry to say, but this game is starting to look a little bit, people are going to start thinking, I don't want to play this game. Then what? They're going to start stopping playing the game. They're going to go somewhere else. So there's the game for you. That is that particular game. So I'll go back in here. So basically what happens here, because they've got control of this mothership, I don't know if it will let me, there you go, look. Because they have control of this mothership allows them to have titles and to give people titles. But what they have decided to do, they thought it'd be funny to give inappropriate titles to these people that they've picked on. I don't know if I've been given a title. I'll probably end up with a title. This would be interesting to see, but again, it doesn't bother me. So what they're doing there, if I go back into global chat and bring it back up, you'll see that they've given this person a title. They're calling him basically the dunce. They're calling this person the injured for whatever reason. If I flick up, there might be some others if I can find some. But you'll notice that their ones have all like glorious titles. He's calling himself the exterminator. He thinks it's great, that he's been able to defeat a lot of people. Okay, yes, maybe he's a higher level, but and so on. That's beside the point. I don't really care what level he is in. I don't care what other levels other people in. And the way I think, if playing the game is playing the game, but when you play the game with the notion that I've defeated you because I believe you're racist and I'm punishing you, then that isn't what the game's about. So if you keep and if the person keeps doing it over and over again on the same person, then that is a form of cyberbullying. It's another form. You don't have to actually say anything, it's just basically your actions. If you keep doing the same thing to the point where the person starts feeling, what's the point of me playing? I can't get anywhere. Every time I manage to move forward, I get destroyed out of existence and I have to start again. I've lost so many points, I've lost so much stuff, I have to rebuild. They're not going to get, So this game also gives you the option of playing via the grind method, which is what I use. If I go back into my base, I don't care. I'm being careful obviously on Vija Conflict, because if I show you my base, it shows, because you can actually have fleets go into attack and you can configure those fleets on how to attack a base. I'm not going to show you the inside of my base, because then that way they will see what type of defense mechanisms I have, and they will then build fleets which can counter my defenses. But in this game, it makes no difference. These are like modules. You just upgrade your modules, and the defenses are the same for every base. Every base has the same defenses. You've got your gun turrets, you've got your bits and pieces, your bollards, and it's all down to how many you are building and how much you have in reserve and how much you've managed to put in place. So it makes no difference. Every base is exactly the same. They're just different levels, so it makes no difference. So I'm at a lower level, which at this precise moment in time, it makes no difference anyway, because if someone's going to attack me, the chances are they are going to defeat me. Because if they're a higher level than me, they stand a greater chance on actually destroying my base anyway, defeating me. So I'm not too worried about it. So I'm not too worried about that at all, on how the game is played in this one. But as you can see, this is what is going on, and so there you go. So these people have been given these titles by this individual or by this particular clan, because they have control of that thing and they're able to do so. Now the game developers have obviously done that, so I don't know if the game developers thought people would use it in an aspect of being civil about it, and wouldn't use it to this degree where they would make fun of people. I don't know. Maybe the developers have put it in there, but if that's the case and the developers are then promoting ways of people to bully people, then maybe this game should be boycotted and something should be done about it. At the end of the day, if you're going to make a game, you've got to make sure that the game is playable for everyone, and that it has, that people can have fun in this game and not find it the game to be like miserable in the game, because all they'll do is just stop playing it. So if you're just going to sit there as a game developer and develop a game which allows people to bully people and do that sort of thing, then people are not going to play it. So in the end, you know, people are just not going to play it at all. You see. So let's come out. And this other game as well. Right, so that leaves us with this. So this brings us back to what I was saying. So this is happening a lot all over the place, and you know, cyberbullying and various other things and other issues. So I've asked the game developers of this particular game to look into it, and I'm making this video because obviously it's a big issue, and it's unfair on people, because if people want to play the game and have a bit of fun, it's a way for them to unwind, let off a bit of steam, because they can play, and that's one of the on here. So like I was saying, so it's quite a big issue, because it's happening all over the place, and you know, something needs to be done about it. So obviously this game here, the game that I've just been talking about, there's various games that have chat in there which I've played, and there's that basically it's happening in a lot of games that carry the chat. So if I'll come out of this one and I will go into a game. So right, for this one, for example, so even I, at the end of the day, like to play games, and obviously when I come in from home from work, if I had a bit of a stressful day, I like to unwind and obviously unwind and blow off a bit of steam. So the best thing for me to do, so that to try and keep everything check and out of the way, is quite simple. It's I don't know what's going on, but something keeps popping in my headphones, and I don't know if it's actually coming through my system. So for some strange reason, it doesn't. Something isn't helping. I don't know what's causing it. It looks like the keyboard for this, as my controller doesn't seem to want to start up for some strange reason. So I need to look into that. Maybe the batteries. Maybe I need to change the batteries in it and have a look into it. But anyway, I'm not actually going to play the game. I'm just going to use it as an example. So this is obviously Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, one of the latest ones out. I have got other games that I'm actually playing, a fairly new game as well at the moment, which I've been doing videos on. So I'm not going to go in there because I don't want to interfere with where I got up to on that particular game, because I'm making an actual video on particular missions, on how to get through basically, so you can see the gameplay throughout as I complete the game, so that it will give you some form of guidance on how to play the game and how to complete the game. But it's an open world, so like this one, this is also an open world one, and so as you can see, I get in there, I shoot a few of the targets that are in the game following the missions, and that just helps me vent some anger or some stress issues that I might have in doing so. Why? Because it's better to do it this way than actually go out there and do it in public and take it out on someone and actually commit an offence and get yourself into trouble with the police. So I do it this way, by getting on the game. I vent my anger out, I vent my de-stress myself by playing this sort of game, and that's it. That's what I do. It's quite as simple as that. So obviously that's this particular game which I've been playing, and there's various games that I am playing and so on. So that's one of the games. Let's click this button and go in. So these are all the games I'm currently involved with at the moment. I mean, some of these games I've had for quite a while. Some of these games have been given to me for free by the game developers. Why? Because they want me to beta test them. They want me to do videos on them. They want me to get them out there to people to see. So there you go. This is some of the things. I've been involved with quite a few things. I've entered event competitions to do with some of these games, to play and achieve certain missions by a certain deadline, which I have done, and I've won various prizes from hard drives. Even this controller that I have now in my hand, I have one of the latest Xbox One controllers, which is compatible with Microsoft computers, which I can use on my computer. It's not the very latest one. The very latest one that's just come out, the 2021, has come out, which supersedes this one. So this one happens to be the 2016 one, and I won that along with its wireless dongle through playing on these games and doing particular tasks that I've been set by the games developers to see if it is possible to achieve the outcome. So I've been given challenges by game producers and by the people like Omnisoft, like who promote the games, to see if it's achievable. And if it is achievable, then they put this out as a thing in the game for people to win trophies and whatever achievements and various other things. And in return, I don't actually get paid for it, but I get freebies. I get certain things given to me. So thanks to them, it's actually Microsoft. It was actually a challenge that was set to me by Microsoft and Xbox, where I ended up winning this controller. And thank you very much for offering me the chance to enter that competition if they're listening. And I've put it to good use. Also, I have hard drives and all sorts of things that I've been sent, and various other bits for my campaigning and various other bits. And I've also been given games. So this is on my Omnisoft launcher, so to launch Omnisoft based games, as you can see. So let's come out of that one. I'm now going to go to Epic Games. Now Epic Games provide games for people, they sell games, etc. And if I can get in, because it's not playing games, there we go to my library. There you go. Obviously this was a trial version that was sent to me for Ghost Recon Breakpoint to give it a trial. Uninstalled it because I actually have the full version now, so I don't need it. Now, Fortnite was given to me, etc., with a year's battle pass, as you might say, for me to be playing. This is another game that was given to me for free to see what it's like. It's a simulator game for the old steam trains when the railway empire was first built through America, etc., and in Great Britain. So there's various things. I was actually given Watch Dogs Legion. These are all games basically that I was actually given for free by game developers to play. I was actually given them for free. And the other game that I have been given for free, and it hasn't been launched yet, is Hitman 3. I've been invited to play this. I'm going to be one of the first to go in there and start playing it for real, amongst other people that are going to be going online. And basically it's there for me because why? They want me to be able to post a video on its launch and to go into it to show people, for me to see it, and also to see what it is like for when it gets launched, and so I can review it. There's some games that I have beta tested. Obviously at this one here, this is only like I said, Hitman 3, but I have beta tested Hitman 2 when it was about to come out. I don't know if I'll be able to show you that. If I can go into here, Steam. I have a Steam account as well. Library, there we go. Let's go into my library. There it is there, Hitman 2. When that first came out, this is another thing that I'm beta testing at the moment, Subnautica Below Zero. I started beta testing that, but now it's available for everyone to try on early release, and I am playing it on early release. So this was I beta tested this. I was given the first mission. So the first mission of the game was made available to me before the game was launched, and I was able to play it. And I made a video on that and been sending it out, and people have seen it. So these are various things. So this is what I do all the time. I play these games to see what they are like and what they are capable of. And there's Vija Conflict through I get it through Steam, and various other things. So there's various games that I play. Also, not only on the PC, but I also play on the PlayStation as well. I'm not fortunate to be up to date like most people. I've only got a PS3 and the Xbox. If I do play any Xbox games now and again, I've only got a 360, Xbox 360. So I'm not up to date on the consoles as everybody else, but my PC is fairly up to date. You know, I wouldn't say it's the best in the world, but it's good enough for what I need to do for game testing and so on. So let's come out of there. So that's basically what I do. So I do play various games, and I have various videos. Let's go into my hard drive here and go into Game Pods, video uploads to YouTube. So these are all the video uploads that I have done to YouTube, and I've got various ones that I've played, etc., and so on. And I have obviously my YouTube channel as well, which I can go into and show you in just a second. So like I was saying, so this is like one of the videos that I've done on my channel. As you can see, there's various things, and you can see all of my different things. You can go into my thing and play all. So there's that happens to there are all these different games. Here's one to do with what I was talking about. So this is Watch Dogs Legion that I've been playing,
losing someone you love.
and you've got various other ones as well. If I can come back out of there. There's this one here about Subnautica, about how to put your own music into the jukebox. There's various things. Here's one on Hitman 3 that's been going. One of the locations got revealed. I've posted that, reviewed that, told people about the VR that they're going to be adding, and obviously the newest video that I did, apart from this one that I'm doing now, and I'm about which I will be posting. They have a new. It's called Project 007. This is the same people that making Hitman 3 are working on a new Bond game, new James Bond game, 007 game, and it's obviously a new venture. They're looking at people to help them build the game, and there's all sorts of things. This is what's going on, and this is what I let people know. And obviously there's other YouTubers out there that know about me, and I know about other YouTubers, and I try not to infringe too much stuff on what they do, because I don't want to step on their toes, etc. Because I try to do my own thing. I try to do my own sort of stuff, which in my own way, basically. So there you go. So this is what I do. So I do have a YouTube channel, so you can view these YouTube, all the different videos that I've done, and everything that I do is basically to try and get people to join in and have a go of various games. It's good, but it doesn't mean that people should be victimizing people through the chat. So things do need to be done about the chat and everything else, because it's unfair on people to have that sort of thing. At the end of the day, it's totally unfair. So let's have a look. Right. Right, there we go. Let's type something in here. There we go. There you go. So in the conversation that I had with that one particular player, when I said to him, "So you chose to be the bully," he said, "How am I the bully?" I don't think he realizes that cyberbullying is its meaning of. It doesn't just mean sending messages. It's also intimidating people within a threatening nature and various other things by doing all sorts of other stuff. So you can be a cyberbully if you target the same person over and over and over again and again and again and again and again and again, to the point where they decide they've had enough, and they either leave the game. Well, for me, I would just leave the game, because it's, at the end of the day, it's a game. I'm not going to take, I'm not mentally unstable to end up taking my own life. But the thing is, you don't know who that person is on the other end of the terminal. That person could have mental issues. That person could have all sorts of different issues, and doing these actions could lead into them self-harming themselves or taking their own life. So it's inappropriate. It's not funny. It's not big. It just makes you, at the end of the day, look, you're the bad guy at the end of the day. So do you really want to have the label of being a cyberbully and getting, then afterwards, after a while, when you start getting found out because someone's called you on it and they've proven it and everything else, and then other people start saying, well, no, why should I be a friend of yours? You know, I don't want to know you. You're a cyberbully. Blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, you're the one who's on the other, receiving end. Are you going to be able to cope with it? If people turn the tables on you and start bullying you, I bet you can't. I bet you don't. And the other thing is, I've dealt with various things and various sociology sort of aspects, because I have worked in local schools and various other governing bodies to do with the government and with local authorities dealing with public. And the other thing is, you discover that most people which do this have issues themselves. It's their way of venting out their anger on other people, other individuals, because that's exactly what's happening to them. So half of these people have, issues in their own life, in their own private life, either be at home or wherever it may be, and they could be victims of some sort of abuse, and this is how they're venting it out. These people also need help. So not only the people that they're victimizing need help, but the individuals that are doing the damage need help themselves too. So this is a big factor all over the place. So, and it doesn't just stop at cyberbullying. It doesn't just stop at being racist. It doesn't stop at being anything of all sorts of things. You have people that come on the game and they talk and they open up and they openly admit that they are gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay. That is their own choice. That is their choice to make. So you don't ridicule, you don't pick on them, you don't how would I say, you don't terrorize them for the fact that they've admitted that they're gay. It makes no difference. And if they're in a video chat or they've posted a video on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, and you can clearly see that they're male but they're dressing up as a female and they're cross dressers and they want to be female, that is their choice. Don't ridicule them for it. That isn't the way it is. Yeah. Just they're a person at the end of the day. They're still a human being with the same feelings as everyone else. So just speak to them as a human being. That's all they are. Don't start being so narrow-minded about it. The other thing, right, to do with racism. Now, there was one that I actually witnessed it on Facebook when I was watching when I was flicking through Facebook, and it was basically it was to do with the fact when they were doing the movement and doing the protests for, and I don't want, okay, I know people might want to put comments, and please do not start flooding me with comments about saying that I'm in the wrong and so on. I'm just telling you what is going out there at the moment. I'm just telling you to look at it, take a step back and really think to yourself about what's going on and how things need to be sorted, and something needs to be done, because it has to stop. Okay, there has to be a way of governing the way how things are going and the way how people are being treated online. You shouldn't be nasty to people in any form. Okay, out in public and whatever. I don't believe in it, especially now at this time of age when everyone needs everyone else's support, because everyone needs someone to give them some form of support. They're already stuck indoors. They're already fed up. They're already at the brink of losing their temper with various things. The last thing they want is someone giving them abuse on the other end of another terminal. Right? That's a big no-no. You shouldn't be doing that. Okay, it doesn't matter what their race is, what their religion is, what their sexual orientation is, and whatever is. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference. They're still a human being at the end of the day. right? And it goes the same for people mistreating animals and various other things, right? There is, you know, there's right and wrongs everywhere, and everywhere has the same problem. It doesn't matter what country you're in. You always have the, you know, a group that think that this is the best way to do it. Yeah, fine. The other thing is what they try to say, oh, freedom of speech. Yeah, that's fine. But don't use freedom of speech to actually use it to victimize someone. You want to say something like I'm doing now, freedom of speech, then say it. But say it in a nice manner. Get your point across. Yeah, in a diplomatic manner. Right? Try not to offend anyone if you can. It's hard. It's very hard not to offend anyone when you're trying to speak about things like this. Okay, so I'm probably going to get comments about it saying that they got offended, etc. Well, I apologise in advance right now. None of this is intended to offend anyone, and I apologise now. So anyone that tries to say to me that, oh, I feel victimised out of what you did, right, it isn't going to wash for me, because that's not what I've set out to do at all. Okay, so it's not going to wash with me. That's not what I've set out. I'm not saying that anyone's bad. I'm not saying anyone's good in this. I'm just saying it is a general fact that this is happening. Now, going back to what I was going to mention on Facebook, which I witnessed, and it was to do with Black Lives Matter. And yes, I agree, Black lives do matter. But wait 1 minute, I haven't finished before you start jumping on your high horse. I believe that all lives matter, not just black. Right? I'm talking about all lives. It doesn't matter what race you are. All lives matter. Being human, life, or plant, or mineral, whatever life there is, it all matters. Okay? At the end of the day, everything has a right to itself, and has a right of its own place within this world. End of. So none of this rubbish about, oh, I'm being racist or anything like that, because I'm not. I'm telling you that people have a right to say what they want to say, but they have to say it in a diplomatic manner. Don't go runting off, right, saying that you're doing this and doing that. And like the point that I'm going to make right now about Facebook, what I saw in Facebook was quite simple. They're ranting and raving, doing a protest about Black Lives Matter, and I know it was filmed in London, because the police officer in question was wearing a Metropolitan Police uniform. So this is a officer in London, and he's got a couple of colleagues with him, and they're crossing the road. These people are protesting about Black Lives Matter. One particular member, who happens to be a female, I'm not going to say anything more, but it was just a female. Not that it matters if it was male or female, but this one particular, the actual individual that was involved in this was female to a male officer. Approached the officer as they were crossing the road, got extremely into their face, ranting Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, which is fine. The police officer agreed and said the words, "You're quite right, madam. All lives matter." Now, those were his words. He wasn't nasty. He wasn't rude in any way. Those were his words. And that female protester, her words were to that police officer, and got very aggressive towards him and pointing at him and almost shoving him as she was doing it. Started screaming in his face that no, only Black Lives Matter. Now, all of a sudden, their peaceful protest has turned into something else. Just because of that one individual saying no, only Black Lives Matter, has turned it into a racist thing. Now, who are they? They're protesting about people being racist to them, and there they are being racist to other people. Do you get my point now, what I'm trying to say? That's where that person went wrong. They chose the wrong thing to say at that moment while they were being videoed, because that wasn't diplomatic. If she'd actually listened to the officer and realised what the officer had actually said, she could have turned around and said, "Thank you, officer. That is much better worded. Yes, I agree with you. All lives do matter." and that would have made them look much better, much higher, and it made them stand head and shoulders above every other movement that's been going on. But no, that person had to turn it into something like that and made them look bad just with one comment. So this is what happens all the time. Watch what you are saying. Be careful what you are saying, because it could be taken out of context and so on. Just like what I've said there in this video, I guarantee there are going to be people commenting on my site now, on my YouTube channel, over this video, and will take things that I've said out of context and turned it around and tried to make it into something else. Well, go ahead and do so. But the people, if you listen carefully, you'll see what I'm trying to point out, that this is what's happening all the time, all over the world, everywhere. And it's happening not only on social media, but it's happening in gaming too, where the games allow you to have a chat room. And it's happening a lot, and it needs to be governed, and something needs to be done about it, because it's not fair. You don't know how old the person is on the other side. You don't know who the other person is on the other side. You don't even know what organisation they're a part of. They could be anybody. I mean, it's just like that person which I confronted in that particular game. They had no idea I was a beta tester until I revealed that I was a beta tester, and even then they thought it was a joke, and they think there's nothing I can do about it. Well, maybe I can't do anything physically about it, but in a form of media, in a form of protesting, and the fact of knowing how to contact game developers and governing bodies about this sort of thing, I can put in a complaint, I can put in a report about it and say that this is what's happening, and let them look into it. If they don't wish to do something about it, then that just makes them just as bad at the end of the day, and then they get revealed. And I'm sorry, these particular game developers then end up getting revealed. They start getting bad reviews, they start losing their players, and they don't make any revenue from the game, and they get a loss. It becomes a loss to them, and then that's how they get struck. And then eventually what will happen is there's other governing bodies out there, mediators of games, which allow games to be licensed. Will, once this gets to a point where they think this is a big issue, they're going to be looking into it, and they're going to start saying, well, I'm sorry, but we're going to revoke your license if you don't do something about it. Now, if other games that I've been playing, like I've said, that Vija Conflict, I've been playing it since 2006, and there's only been the odd remark and the odd occasion when someone has basically been a cyberbully on there, but it's been brought to a stop. I don't know if the game developers or the people that are running the servers had blocked them, I don't know, or if they've been warned in any way, I don't know. I do know on my Facebook that the Facebook account that I have now is my second Facebook account, because I as you know, I use an alias for my production of my videos, for my YouTube and so on, which is Grim Reaper. Obviously, that is not my real name. I'm not going to disclose my real name for basically for personal security issues, because I don't want people to try to do any identity theft or whatever and things like that. So obviously for privacy issues, that is I'm not going to be disclosing my name, and I'm trying to do my best not to disclose anybody else's real identities, that anything else. And if anything has leaked through here, I apologize, and I'll take full responsibility, but I don't think anything has, because I haven't revealed anybody's real names or any accounts for any of it. So at the end of the day, so the other thing is, yeah, so I've had to because I got banned. I had my Facebook account closed down, mainly for because when I made the account, I was using the name Grim Reaper. That's what I filled in the details as Grim Reaper, etc. Basically as a character, as an alias, because I was using it for the gaming, etc. Well, after I had that Facebook account for about 8 years, Facebook decided that it's a fictional character, it isn't my real identity, and so banned, well, not actually banned me from Facebook, but they blocked that account, so I couldn't use it. I was told I was no longer allowed to use it, and my account was being shut down, etc. Which I found that annoying, because I had so many different followers on that account, which I couldn't then contact to tell them what's happened and get them to move to my new Facebook account. Also, I had various other pages attached to my Facebook account, which I was running, and I had followers on, which I'd lost, and I'd lost total control. And of course, I can't gain control of that because it is a different account, so I couldn't get it to move, couldn't get access into the account to move it. So I lost quite a lot through that with that action that they did. So I had to reopen a new account with my real identity, and then have the Grim Reaper put in as a nickname to show as a nickname below my real identity, and that's what I've had to do on my Facebook account. So, and that's how they wanted it. They said that was their policies and so on. So I had to comply. So, and I lost quite a lot out of it. YouTube, even though they do know who my real identity is, they're quite happy for me to use my alias as Grim Reaper through YouTube to produce my videos and so on. They haven't got a problem with that, and so have quite a few other sites. Don't seem to have a problem with that, because within my account, my real identity, my real personal details, they have a count of it, and obviously that is kept confidential, and only my screen name of either Grim Reaper or Grim66 Reaper or Grim66 Reaper 1066 and so on is being displayed. And basically those are the different aliases that I have within the game. So if you see Grim Reaper or Grim666 Reaper or 6 Grim6 Reaper 6, that's also me. Sometimes you might see Grim 1066 Reaper, that's also me. Sometimes you might see Grim 666 Reaper 1066, that is also me. And there's a few others. There are other Grim Reapers out there who are not me, obviously, so it can get a bit confusing. It looks like the character or the character of Grim Reaper, or the legend of Grim Reaper, seems to be quite strong with a lot of people, and I think it seems to be mostly people that are interested in heavy metal, rock music, and that sort of aspect, and who are fans of Halloween, more Halloween orientated, which seem to use the Grim Reaper side. But again, it is just a screen name, it is just an alias and so on. That doesn't define exactly the kind of person who I am. I consider myself to be quite a diplomatic person. I'm quite open to review, and I do think of everything quite logically as well. And at the end of the day, I'm not happy seeing people being treated like this through media and various other things when they're trying to play the game. I mean, people just want to go on to play a game and have a bit of fun. This is their way of basically detoxing themselves from the real life. Okay, these games that you play, allow you to get into a bit of a role play. Basically, you can get in there, especially these military games. You can pretend that you are, you know, some soldier, etc. Blah blah blah, and you can live your little fantasy. You can live your little fantasy dream throughout the game. All right. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I quite like. Let's take Hitman for example. When I play Hitman, I quite enjoy that. I like to place myself in and think myself as Agent 47 as I'm playing that game. That I am actually that character, and I try to play that game when I'm playing that game. And sometimes you will notice that some of my videos are quite lengthy, and that is because I get carried away because I've immersed myself into that game. I have completely forgotten about the real world, about all my problems, and I have got carried away into playing that game. And that's the way I am. I enjoy playing my games. I enjoy having the fun to play with that in those games. I also enjoy going to games which involve other players that working with you and playing with you, because it's nice to be able to connect to people around the world, and you're all trying to achieve the same goal. You're trying to build up a clan. You are trying to build up your base. They're sending you in resources. You're sending them resources. They're clicking the assist buttons and the help buttons, so you cut down the time in your research and your building. It's great fun. Nice bit of teamwork. The last thing you want is someone coming along and going, oh, I can. But some people put in their screen name or their alias on how they want to be. You see, like I've seen one. They actually call themselves Fairy69. Right? That's someone that I know that I've played with. That is their screen name, Fairy69. Now, I discovered through chat that this person is male, but he considers himself as female, and he prefers to be addressed as female. I'm not going to give you his name or her name, sorry, as this person prefers to be known as a she, not a he, right? And hence why they have the screen name Fairy69. Now, obviously, they are basically they're giving you a clue that they're technically gay through their screen name, right? And I have witnessed them being bullied over it. I have noticed them being bullied over it. I don't know if someone managed to find out their real identity or whatever it was, but they were being bullied on it to the point where they actually left the game. They left the game, and I have been able to contact them. They have been messaging me through email, and I have been speaking to them through email, and they're doing quite well. They're playing various other games, but unfortunately, they no longer play games which involve the chat factor. They only play single player games where there is where no one can contact you, no one can speak to you, etc. You're just playing the game. So they're basically playing platform games. They've stopped playing games which involves other people where there's other people involved, which is sad, really. They've been forced basically into a way of playing all by themselves, which isn't fair. That wasn't fair, and I've tried to win them over and tried to invite them to play games, but with me, where it involves other people, but no, they won't play. Why? Because they're afraid that they're going to get ridiculed by someone else. That's a shame, isn't it? Don't you think that's a shame? That person now is only playing certain type of games where they believe they're safe, and they won't come and play with, like in this game that I've been playing now. Say for example Operation New Earth, where there is a clear open chat channel where you can chat with people. They won't do it. They've even closed their Facebook account and their Twitter account. They've got rid of those accounts. The only way I can communicate with them is through email. That's the only way we communicate, is through email. No more. That is the only way. And they're only communicating with them because they feel safe with me, because I've shown them nothing but compassion. So what does that, so there you go. And in my real life, where I go out to work, and I've been working in my workplace, yes, there are lesbians, there are bisexuals, there are cross-dressers. All these people are there in real life in front of me. It doesn't bother me. These are work colleagues. I get on with them quite fine. I also, and there's also people from other races. There is a chap there. He's from Guyana, sorry. And he's fine. What's wrong with him? He's a great laugh. Actually, he's a funny person. He gets on with his job. He's very helpful. He's very polite. Nothing wrong with the person. There's Asians. And where do I stop? There's all sorts of nationalities working with me in my workplace, and they're lovely people. There's nothing wrong with these people, So why do people need to be so nasty to other people? Why do you need to ridicule them just because of the colour of their skin or their belief and whatever, or whatever the case may be, that you decide you want to pick on that issue and ridicule them and so on? You expect this from children that don't know any better, but from fully grown adults? Come on. I've seen primary school children, or as in other countries like in the US, kindergarten children that act more grown up than some of the adults that I've come across. It just goes to show. It needs to come to a stop. All of this needs to come to a stop. And I've probably ranted on for quite a long time now, because I've got because I've got into this thing. It's something that's upset me over the thing, watching this sort of thing happen. I don't. People might say, "Oh, I've got upset because I got attacked in that game so many times." That isn't the fact. I don't care how many times I got attacked. What I do care is for the reason why I was attacked. Just for the fact that I was I'm part of that clan, which they had an issue with a player within that clan, which I believe has been kicked from that clan for those actual remarks by either a co-leader or the leader, whoever it was. I wasn't even aware that it happened until all of this had happened, all these attacks had happened, and then I confronted the person to try and get some sort of explanation so I can understand the reason why this occurred. And this is how I found this out. And then I hear that apparently that player is no longer part of that clan, and hadn't been for that, and wasn't part of that clan when the attacks had happened. So this person decided, that it would be a good idea to pick on everyone else within that clan that had nothing to do with it. All because, so what was he expecting? That we all leave? That the whole clan just disappears from the game? It's ridiculous. And if you go to that site that I did show you, where it what I posted, I'll go back to it there. Let's have a look. Where was it? I did store it somewhere. There it is. Should go into it. There you go. I can't remember if it was this picture. Now this is where I was telling him, he thinks it was all that I'm trying to commit a gimmick. Yes. This bit here, calling him an a-hole. I called him an a-hole after, which I'm sorry to say, I didn't realise what it was turning into, so I didn't catch the beginning of the whole entire conversation. And basically, in the start of the conversation, when I noticed he was actually there in global chat, I did ask this person a simple question. I was polite about it. I said, and I addressed it to him so he understands that I'm trying to speak to him, to that particular person. I'm calling him him. I could be wrong. It may be female. Like I said, you don't know who's really on the other side. It could be male, could be me, female. Well, this player. All right, let's try to be diplomatic and say this player. Okay. At the end of the day, I'd contacted and I asked them if I can ask them a question. Basically, they just came back with a reply, no, or nope, or whatever. And I thought, well, okay, that was a little bit rude. They don't know what I was going to say. I was trying to be polite. If they didn't want me to talk to them, they could have just said, I'd rather not, thank you. And I would have left it at that. But because it was such a short, basically rude answer that they gave me, I thought, right, okay, well, two can play at your game, and if you want to be rude about it, I can be rude about it too. So I sent back a message saying, well, I was going to be nice about it, but now I see you're just an a-hole. There you go. So, and that sparked off a response, and miraculously, that person actually opened up and told me what it was all about. And I thought, right, okay, so for the fact that apparently there was some racialism slurs, someone had said something about Asians in the chat who happened to be part of the same clan that I was in, who I believe had been booted before all of this kicked off with all the different attacks from the clan for that purpose, or for whatever purpose they were actually really booted out from. He went and then started attacking everybody. Let's see if I can find like this one. So as you can see, I've put it in here. Right, this is when I was explaining globally to everyone that was online at the time that any player can report anyone for this sort of thing, for cyberbullying and for race hate online. He was trying. I think he was trying to be clever here. I don't know if he was trying to be clever or whatever, but he said, "Yep, fully aware." So I said, "So you just chose to be the bully then?" And how am I being a bully? Well, I've just shown you the definition of cyberbullying. It says there, by using an electronic device for various things. It's not just what you put in a message. It's if you're using it in such a way that you are victimizing the person, and that's exactly what this person was doing by constantly and repeatedly attacking lower level players within that particular clan. If he was attacking every other clan as well and other players, that might have been a different matter, but he chose not only himself, but he rallied other members of his clan and ally clans that he has with him to do the same. So it was like literally a mob. You were just being mobbed. Each other player within this particular clan was mobbed constantly. Now that is a form of cyberbullying. That's what it is defined as. It is a form of cyberbullying. And I don't think this person actually gets it. So here's right. So here I am explaining to him that he right, because of all of this, what was going on, he didn't bother reporting any of this. He just took actions in his own hands and decided to do exactly what he'd done, and he'd picked on, there you go, as I've put here, with this. So and as you can see there, I called him a child because basically that is childish. I think I've actually put in somewhere about him spitting his dummy out and so on. So basically, I did nothing more than confront him in the same manner that he was acting on other players. So to give him a taste of what it is like, so he can feel the taste of someone else doing it back to him. You see, this is why I'm not worried if I get attacked or whatever in this game, because it doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, it's a game, right? So here we are. I am actually going to stand up for them, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, good for you. Stand up for them. Yes. Okay. Fine. You want to stand up for them and say this is not fair on people being, to do with race hate against Asian people, etc. Fine, go ahead and do that. There is nothing wrong in doing it. But because you're going to stand up for these people, it doesn't mean that you then go and do something which is unacceptable to do in the belief that you're doing it right, because you're not doing it right. What you should have done to stand up for them is exactly what I've just done. I stood up for all these other players that didn't know what to do, who've been constantly attacked out of this group, out of this clan, and did nothing more but to report it. That's the way how I stood up for them. And at the same time, I have stood up for the people that have been subject to race hate, which is every other player on there, which are not in my group, which in my clan, within the clan that I'm involved with. So I've done it in a diplomatic matter and included everyone, and I'm saying it's not right at all. It should stop in any format. So what he's done, right, two wrongs does not make a right. And this is exactly what he's done. He's chosen the wrong thing, just like I was explaining about Facebook and about that incident to do with Black Lives Matter, that one individual, when the words that they used when they say no, only Black Lives Matter, when the police officer said all lives matters, they chose the wrong words to say, so they chose the wrong outcome. At that point, at that moment, when they said that and they got filmed saying that and it got posted, that changed the whole aspect of their protest. Their protest, from being a peaceful one and a nice, easy-going, standing up for their rights, became a harassment one. It became a raceless one, another race hate one. Basically, they became the racialists, and they were being racist against everybody else over that, just because of that one particular thing. That's how it changes, how quickly things change. And this is the point I'm trying to get across, and I'm hoping, like I said, that this player who using the screen name Hellboss in this particular game gets to see this video and understands now why I've gone to these measures to make this video, to report it, and so on, and what he has done isn't really acceptable in the way he's done it, because two wrongs don't make a right. And this is what I try. See, he thinks I'm a small problem. Well, no, I'm not a small problem. I'm actually a very big problem, because I'm going to make an issue out of it, and I'm going to tell people what's going on, and so on. And this is what I'm explaining, and I've explained it to him in this bit here. If people are doing this, picking on players because of race, then they need to be banned, basically, is what I'm saying, which is true. People that are doing this through race hate and picking on people as doing it because of race, they need to be banned. They shouldn't be playing that game. They shouldn't be victimizing people about it, right? They have no place in doing so. If they want to play the game, then leave race out of it. Just play the game, right? So, and then this is what I've explained to it. Here we go. This is where I've said to him, he spat the dummy out. So, and if you're going to spit your dummy out and pick on players that have nothing to do with it, then you need to be banned, because basically you're being a cyberbully. So now you've turned into the other factor. So you've got various factors in this sort of thing, about this sort of abuse that's going on in social media and in games like this with the chat. And it's quite simple, right? There's the race card, where people are using race hate. There's the cyberbullying, where it's not just messaging, it's your actions and how you use the electronic devices to basically victimize the target. It is picking on people because of their sexual intent, their sexual orientation, the way how they see themselves sexually, and their sexual preference, on people's beliefs in religion and social belief and their cultural beliefs, right? All these things are things which are a big no-no. Yeah, you shouldn't use these against other people. This is not the way to go about it. This is a not acceptable approach on how to treat people. Okay, you have an issue with someone, then you have an issue with someone. Yeah. If you have a problem with someone, right, you've had your say, blah blah blah, end of matter, blacklist them. Just blacklist them. You can go in the game and there is a place that you can blacklist that person. I'll probably go back in the game and show you it in a moment, because I have blacklisted this player from privately messaging me, because I don't want him to start ranting and raving, because all that'll do is annoy me, and at the end of the day I'm just going to like take screenshots like I did like here, and send it into the game developers. And the way I'm trying to give this person a chance, really, to tell you the truth, because I'm hoping that they'll realise what they're doing is wrong and not carry on with it. So as you can see, so I've posted my report about it to the game developers about what's been going on with screenshots. Now I have been contacted, as you can see. They're apologising to me about, but it's not really me, because they from that they've taken it because they can see it's me that's been in the chat that I've experienced this, and they're asking me to pass on this complaint to this link, which I have done so, and there I am informing them that I've done so, and they're saying no worries and so on. So, and it's gone in further, so they've asked me to forward it in to a department that deals with these matters. So there could be more to come from this yet. There may be an action. I don't know what might happen from it. I might receive an email, don't know. I'll have to look into my emails, but at the end of the day, the game developers, let's click home, right, the game developers are making all these different games, right? So this is Haunted Cow, and they're behind some of these titles. The last thing they want is to be losing people from playing the game, because they don't want to lose revenue. You know, it does create revenue for them, because if I go into the shop, like I said, the Operation New Earth is fairly new, so that you haven't really got a link here to go into the shop via their site. You can only do it in game at the moment. So these sort of things that you can buy, I mean, look, I mean, this, for this particular game, featured item, so for whatever, it's for Fallen Sword, there you go, it tells you what it is. To buy this particular pack of whatever is this elite pack, whatever it consists of, to them it's worth $100 US. Now, the potential of making that sale and for them to gain $100, do you think they want to lose this potential amount of money that they could be making in revenue from the game if someone is making people feel that they don't want to play and stop playing? This is potential loss to the company. They're not going to put up with it. They're not going to stand up to it. They're not going to stand for it. So they're going to do something about it one way or the other. Either they're going to check their servers and find the person's IP address and warn them to pack it in, or they're just going to ban them, or just even suspend them. I don't know. They could do anything, whatever they can do. So it can't. That's probably all that they'll do. But the thing is, what you got to bear in mind, if you're doing this and this happens to you and you get suspended by a company, by a game developer from the game, don't try making yourself another account and getting in there, another alias, because it's your IP address. Okay, your IP address is what they're looking at. Okay, your IP address will always be the same. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you reconfigure your PC by reinstalling software on your PC and changing it and becomes a thingy, and your IP address slightly changes, and it doesn't matter if you use another device within your home, because that will have a different IP. Because what it is, they will trace the IP address. They have means of tracing your IP address and getting a location, and if they come up the same location, they're going to believe that there is a high probability that you are the same person, so they will block them too. Mark my words. Okay, this sort of thing is a big no-no for a lot of companies, and they will find a way of preventing it from happening. I know in Facebook now they have added in there a section that you can, I believe it's in the little 3 dots, by the post. If you click on that, it opens a little menu, and in there it says you can report the post. And when you click on report the post, it goes and asks you a few questions about what you're reporting it for, if it's spam, if it's to do with racialism, sexual, etc., abuse, and so on. And then it takes you into subcategories that you can select, and it asks, you can even put in some words for your optional own words that you can put in as optional to explain a bit more, and so on. And they will look into it, and they will do it. So these people will listen. I'm trying to find out why I have a 1 on there. Just notice that it says 1. I don't know if it's to do with my, is it to do with my post, or is it to do with something else? So it could be something new. I don't know. I'm pretty new on this site. Like I said, I posted my report to them, and then realised that it would have been a good idea to open an account. So hence why, if I go back into view tickets and click into there, that's why it says anonymous there. That's because I did it before I created an account with them, and then I realised afterwards that it might have been a good idea to create an account, because with the account I can go in there, I can read more about the game and other sort of things. And that's the account that I created, and that's my screen name for them to identify who I am, and hence why afterwards when I posted, you're actually getting to see an avatar and a screen name. So before then it was anonymous, because I posted that without an account, and then after that, since I had an account, and I replied back to them, and they so on. So and it's quite simple. I mean, if you and obviously there to click to resolve, if it's been resolved, you can click it so you can shut it down. Obviously I'm not going to click on it because it's still open, and and so on. And if you go to here and create a ticket, which is to make a thing, you can choose here what it's all about. As you can see, the game is that new that it doesn't even have a category at the moment, so I had to leave it in general support, hence why they asked me to forward it on to actually to do with the actual game, and they gave me the link, because it's not, as you can see, it's not listed in there. And if you select one of these, for example, let's just say Battle Dragon, and then there's a subcategory, and then you can say what it's about, you see. Or if it's another issue, you can put it in there and you can give it a title and explain to them what it is. And that's basically it. So it's quite easy to report it. Every developer game developer will have some form of way that you can report it. It might not be in the game itself, so it's always best to Google the game and find out who the developer is, like I did, and that's how I got to here. So if I go to here and start typing in operation, there it is. It's come up because obviously I was already Googled it, and it said, and I came up with developers, and it gave me Haunted Cow Studios, who was the developers behind it. So of course I clicked on their link there, which then brings me to the actual thing for their site, and here it is. There's their site name there. I didn't actually use that one, I used this one, but that one also was the same one. So I clicked on there and it took me to their website, and that's when, and then what I did, I was looking through, and then that's how I found out that you can put in you can report it through support and so on. And that's how I did it, and that's how I managed to report it. So it's always worth Googling if you have a problem, if you need to report something that you think is not right, and you want to make put in a report to make the game developers aware that you're not happy about something or something is not right. That's the way to do it. Okay, if there is nothing within the game to help you to make the report, to report it, then Google the game, find out about it, go to their support site, go and look through their website, see if there's a way of reporting it, and then that's how you can do it. If there isn't, then if there's no way of reporting it, then there's got to be something in there about their contact. If you go down the bottom, sometimes it's right there in the bottom, it says contact us. Click on contact us, and boom, there it is. There it's telling you to use this, to fill this in, to contact them about whatever it is. And in most cases, when this comes up, it also gives you their details, the company's details, and it's there, right there, Haunted Cow Studios, and it just happens to be, would you believe, IV is a postcode in Scotland, which is to do with Inverness, part of Scotland. So they are actually here in the UK. Not, I'm based in England, in the Kentish part of England, southern part of England, and they happen to be based in Scotland, in the Inverness area, because that's why it's IV for the postcode. So they're in the Inverness area of Scotland, and there's basically their address right there. So you can actually Google that address on Google Maps. Actually search that on Google Maps, that postcode, and it will tell you, you will see where they are. It will give you an exact location of where they are. So, and they have their telephone number, and it tells you like how to contact them and so on, and what they and everything else. So it's there. They want, and they give you that information. Why? Because they want you to speak to them. They want to know about these issues. So where they believed that there's nothing that can be done about it, like they put in there, well, they're totally wrong. Something can be done about it. All you have to do is report it, and then they will look into it. If nothing. And like I was saying, at the end of the day, if the game developer doesn't really do anything really about it, and it's still carrying on after you've made your complaint, and you've made more than, don't just report it once. If it happens again, take the screenshots, do whatever, record it, document it, report it again to them. And if they still don't do anything about it, then you know that they're not going to do anything about it. They're just trying to ignore it. Because they don't care. And it's simple. Stop playing the game. Just stop playing the game. Move away from it. Okay. There's other games out there that you can play, and I'm pretty sure you'll find one where the players on there are a little bit more civil, a little bit more, and a bit more diplomatic and more friendly, and you'll be able to play it. at the end of the day, and without any problems. So just don't play the game. Simple. In the end, it be that game developer's loss, because they will start losing revenue. Because if people stop playing the game, better still, if there's people out there playing games and they're experiencing in that game, let me know. Tell me the title. Let's get into it. Let's really get on the bandwagon. Let's really hit some of these game developers and these other places which they're just allowing it to happen, and they're doing nothing about it, and they're just ignoring people that are trying to report it. Let's really go to town on it. Let's make it a real issue, just like how people have made issues about various things, about Black Lives Matter and the gay rights movement and so on. Yeah, right. Let's go. Why not? Yeah, this has got this is also just as justified as every other movement. Cyberbullying and all this sort of, not just cyberbullying, but obviously race hate and all this that's been channeled through games via the chat sites in the games and so on, also needs to be brought to a stop, because it's happening in social media, and I know Facebook is trying to prevent it, and no, I don't use Twitter, so I'm going to say Twitter are probably doing exactly the same thing, trying to prevent it and doing what they can. So, and Instagram and whoever else. So all these social medias, no doubt, are doing what they can to limit, if not completely put a stop to this sort of behaviour that's happening, because they ain't going to want it. They don't want people to be rude and to other people and so on. No, of course not. They're not going to want that. It gives them a bad review. So that's something that they don't want as well. And so let's make an issue of it. Let's track down the let's track down whatever social media and whatever games are out there which are allowing it to happen still. Let's name them and shame them and try and get them to do something about it. So there you go. There's a good thing for you to put in as a comment below. Start letting me know these games, these other sites that are allowing this to happen. Let's look into them. Like I said, I am just a beta tester, but I also run a YouTube channel. Let's use it. Let's try and see if we can do something about it. See how many corporations we can get on our side to say, yes, we're going to go down this road. We want it to stop as well. Let's see how much we get. So I'm going to put an end to this video, because I've probably ranted on for bloody ages and probably boring everyone. So I'm Grim Reaper. Thank you for watching my channel. So please don't forget to subscribe, leave me my comments, and give me your thumbs up, thumbs down. And something tells me I am going to get some comments out of this one. Obviously I don't get a lot of comments through my gaming ones, for whatever reason. Some people just don't want to comment. They just want to use it as a reference what I'm playing, and so they can see. But something tells me, because I have now basically thrown the cat amongst the pigeons about this issue, no doubt I am going to get comments. I am, no doubt. And somehow, I don't know why, but I'm getting the feeling that I'm going to get mostly negative comments, because you're going to be surprised on how many people out there will be negative about it. If I actually get support out of this, I'll be surprised. I will be absolutely shocked if I actually get more thumbs up and more people supporting me over this thing, because I believe it needs to be brought to a stop, and we need to start doing something about it, especially now in this current situation of COVID, where more people are going to be indoors, and the chances are there's going to be more people going online to play games which have this factor in the game, and then they're going to be subjected to this sort of thing. Not on. Come on. It's I think the human race has evolved more than this. Right, let's put all this to one side. We've all got a common enemy at the moment that we need to be fighting, and that's COVID-19. So yeah, so let's try and support everyone and try and do what we need to do, help our local governments, etc., do what needs to be done to get this little nasty thing of COVID-19 under control, because do we really need to be fighting amongst ourselves when we've got this going on? No, I don't think so. And I don't think and if we can cope with dealing with this factor without fighting amongst ourselves, then it just proves that we can get along and we can all, be civil to one another, and we don't need to ridicule anyone for anything. Yeah? Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, we're on this planet, we're all living together. At the end of the day. Right. So with that, enough said, and like I said, thank you very much for watching. So if you want to be updated with more of this video and so on, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and please do leave me comments and do let me know what you think of the video with thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, so here we are, start of 2020 now, so I bid everyone a happy new year with this one, and hopefully it'll be a fruitful year for everyone. And I put out the hope worldwide that we can get, well, I'm not going to lie to you, I know for a fact we won't get rid of COVID-19. It's still going to be knocking about there, but we'll be able to overcome it, to suppress it and keep it under control with the vaccine, and we won't be getting affected from it as much, because like the Bermudic plague, the Black Death as otherwise known as, that is still around. Believe it or not, that still crops up every now and again. These diseases are still there. These illnesses are still there. We've just found ways of vaccinating against them and being able to keep them under control. So you'll never get rid of COVID-19. It's always going to be there. But we will find a method of being able to suppress it. And the vaccines that we will have and the medicines that we'll have will help us, protect us from it, from contracting it as easily as what's happening at the moment. So for all of those frontline people, key workers that are out there, to do with the healthcare and people that are doing actual the care services, etc., keep up the good work. I understand it's hard keeping it. My profession is also a key worker. I won't exactly say which company I work for out here for privacy purposes, but let's put it this way: parcels and post probably wouldn't, without my organisation that I work for, wouldn't be getting delivered, if we weren't pressing on. So goodbye and thank you very much.